Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to EPIC38. My name is Zeroy. I am, of course, joined by Hart. Welcome back.
Good to be back. Good to be back.
Good to stretch my legs and get some exercise, have some dinner, get some food.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump straight into this one. We've actually got the players ready already, and that is Zain versus Mix. Mix, of course, playing random, and Zain a very high-level Protoss. 4th seed in the entire tournament. It'll be a good one.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely going to be an interesting matchup. They played a 3-2 series that went Zain's way last LAN, which was like a really banger
Zain's
series.
way.
Yeah, but close.
Spicy.
Mix is completely committed to random, which I find completely amazing.
Yep.
Because I just be like, oh, whatever, I'm just going to play my main race.
Yeah, absolutely.
He now no longer really has a main race, and he says he's pretty equally good at all of them.
Yeah.
Last time they played, Zain 2-0'd his Zerg, and then he didn't random Zerg for the rest of it. And then won another 2 matches without his Zerg, which normally people... that's normally meant to be his main race, so it's going to be an exciting one for sure.
Immense, absolutely. Well, let's see what Protoss. Let's see
Protoss
what races we're seeing.
Oh, you
it is
called
a
it.
PvP.
It's Protoss.
Yeah. So, shall we do the introductions?
Yeah. Up here in the green, playing Protoss, but he picked it, is Zain.
And in the bottom right, the random player who's ended up with Protoss, it is Mix. Okay, so do you play Protoss at all or not?
I mean, Protoss is easy. I'll play it for 3 wins when I'm feeling lazy. No,
when you want to use good units, you play Protoss.
Exactly right. I play it a few times. I'm not going to claim that I know all the intricacies, especially not of PvP. It's a very weird matchup for sure.
I've just been speaking to Exo about playing against random as a Protoss player.
Yeah.
And Exo was always saying, as a Protoss player, you never want to see random because you don't know how to open. You don't know where to place this pylon.
Yeah.
So if you're against Terran and you do your setup like this, it's almost like an auto lose.
Yeah.
Because you can just die to so many different things, or this gets punished very easily.
If you don't do this and you're against a Zerg, then you're in a really weird position.
Exactly. You can do this against Protoss, fortunately. I think the meta nowadays is to go for the pylon on low ground, gateway into a fast expand. So this looks like it could just end up in a pretty standard PvP. We see the same thing out of Mix here.
Yeah, they put this pylon and gateway in the same exact spot. But Zain did do a really early scout, so his probe got way across the map really early, so he knew what he was up against.
Absolutely.
Which I think is something you do have to do if you're playing against a random, like you said, just to be really safe and make sure you're not getting 12 pulled and you're about to lose.
Exactly. So, it looks like we're just settling into this state of the game there in a mirror match where both players are doing the exact same thing. We're just kind of.
I mean, the only deviation is the Zealot, and it's I think he might even cancel it because I don't think he needs it. I guess it depends if Zain tries to block this Nexus from going down.
Yeah, if he tries to build a pylon, then I can see that Zealot finishing. But he's just being annoying. Zealot finishes.
It looks like he's going to send it out across the map and check out the other side.
I mean, maybe Mix is just faking it out. Maybe he wants to go for the early attack on one base. I mean, he's got tech on one base.
Oh, you mean it might be a fake?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you might be right.
Zain's sort of done the same thing here. Obviously, Mix has blocked this natural, and so Zain is going for the early Stargate. And Mix has done the exact same thing. It's a mirror match, what can I say?
It's a mirror. Yeah, what can you do?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting with this.
Mix, look at this!
Double blocking the natural.
That's just so annoying.
Really annoying now with the Zealot getting across. Kind of Zealot fight, 1v1 I guess, but with the probe here to tag in, it's going to make it a little bit more of an even fight.
Stalker's going to finish as well, so I don't think the Zealot is long meant for this world. But I think it's only here to distract this Zealot from attacking the Cybercore.
Oh, I think you're right, yeah. I think that's just going to, make the delay even longer. The Cybercore is actually the best unit, best building in terms of cost per HP efficiency for Protoss. So
he lets it finish as well.
Yeah,
absolute mad lad. And yet he himself has got his own Nexus down. This is actually really quite important, I'd say.
It's going to be an interesting one for sure. On the other hand, he's getting a second Stargate while making Phoenix. So I think he's sort of showing us what he plans to do in this game. Absolutely. I think that hard counters the Oracle coming across.
Absolutely. I mean, Mix has just played this really well. There's no battery in the middle line, but I guess if you've got Phoenix to shoo away the Oracle, you might not need it. Setting the Phoenix all the way across the map, though.
Maybe a bit of a mistake, since the Stargate is in the wall, so he should know that it's coming.
Yes, yeah. And he comes in now, intercepts some probes.
Yeah, I think this might be really bad for Mix. He's going to lose a few for sure.
Yeah, he loses a handful.
This Oracle is going to die 100%.
But he's getting a lot on the way out, though.
Yeah,
9 probes down.
Yeah, this is rough now for Mix. He's down 10 workers overall. His natural Nexus is slightly faster, but I'm not sure that's going to be enough to let him catch back up.
I wonder if the second Oracle is going to catch Mix off guard now as well. If his Phoenix out across the map, as they are, and this Oracle dives in, it's going to be even more probe kills.
I think this actually might just be game over. He's bringing one of those Phoenix home. He's actually sending the other two back as well.
Yeah,
but
he knows this is incredible damage here. Mix down to 15, 14 workers. Oh. Half the number of workers less.
All but over. I just can't see Mix coming back in this game now. I mean, he has the Phoenix who gets air superiority, but Zain is already ticking up quickly now, getting more gateways, getting his blink on the way. So
although Mix did a really good job of denying that second base of Zain, he couldn't capitalize on the two-base economy because all these probes have been killed.
Yeah, and now he's going to be having to just build probes to try and get back into the game, whereas Zain can, tech and
absolutely
out macro now.
You can just see now, Stalker's at home to defend against the Phoenix. Mix just desperately trying to probe up, but I mean, as soon as Blink finishes on 4 gateways, is it 4 or 3 gates?
Should be 4. You can only afford 4 off of 2 base. I'm not sure. Yeah, so I think 4 makes sense. Though Mix is literally just building probes right now. He is going to get a robo, I think probably for Immortals to defend against the Stalkers, but it's going to be rough and probably not going to be ready before the Stalkers come out across the map, as we're seeing them move out through the middle now.
Yeah, you can see Zain is Mix is desperately trying to distract Zain, shave off a few probes here and there to get back into the game, but it's just not enough. Zain knows he killed a lot of probes, and he's going to capitalize on that now. 3 Stalkers go up, GG is already called. There's just nothing there to defend, nothing at all.
No, it's really rough when you get into these positions. Like we said, it was a good opening, and he did a really good job of delaying that natural, and then I guess for nothing when you're going to lose all those workers to the Oracle.
Yes.
It seemed a little bit greedy maybe to send the first Phoenix out across the map.
Perhaps if he had a shield battery in the mineral line, maybe he could have held on for long enough, the Phoenix could have then picked off the Oracle and he wouldn't have taken any economic damage.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right.
And then it would have been Mix ahead, because suddenly he's got the second Nexus first, he can chrono out 2 probes at once, and
Yeah, that's a rough one for sure. I think he'll be kicking himself for getting so far ahead.
Yeah.
And still not quite managing to close it out.
Should have, but didn't.
This is always the way, I think. It's rough when there's such a small change you can make, like you said. It's an 100 mineral investment for the shield battery, and it could have saved you so many probes. It's it's very unfortunate.
Okay, so next map now is Babylon. We'll have to see what race Mix ends up with. Yeah,
it'll be interesting. Mix actually wanted to play. Mix actually really wanted to play PvP, and I think we kind of saw why in that game. I think his start was quite strong and quite well set up. So I think it was the idea was there, the core, the fundamentals maybe were there, but he really struggled to close it out in the end.
Sorry about that. There's a bit of an issue there with the lobby. We're in the lobby for the second game, and the observer was also the player.
Would have been fun when we loaded in and had to play against Zain.
Yeah. What can you do? Sorry, Hart. I actually need to play against Zain now.
I'll split my SCVs. All good. Yeah, like you say, it's going to be interesting. We had a PvP. I wonder what it's going to be next.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we are now in game. Spawning in the top left, we have the green Protoss player. It is Zain.
And once again, spawning as Protoss, despite not even picking Protoss. In the pink is Mix.
So did you mention earlier, by the way, that has Mix beaten Zain before as Protoss?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, I think in their series last time, that went Mix's way when he played Protoss and didn't when he played what people consider to be his main race as Zerg. I think this is interesting. It gives him a chance to a shot of redemption, maybe a little bit.
One thing I've noticed now as well is that I've seen Mix go for 2 Stargate Phoenix in PvP against. I saw him do it before against Ross. I've seen him do it against Chelch, and we've just seen him now do it against Zain.
Yep.
Is this just a stylistic thing that he enjoys? Will we see it again, do you think?
It's it can be a bit obvious to telegraph your moves like this.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Zain is sort of aware of it coming into the series. That said, we saw AC play the same build 2 games in a row earlier, and it worked both times. So maybe if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And also, I think there's this this core idea of like the double bluff. It's like, oh, he won't be expecting me to do it, so I'm going to do it. And then some things can work out better that way.
Yeah. In fairness, we do see a bit of a divergence in this game. We see Mix going for the double gateway before expands.
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, I think Zain does see this. So he's opting to go for a Cyber before Nexus, it looks like.
Yeah, so like we said in the last game, Zain has to sort of build his buildings out here because he doesn't know which race Mix is going to get when he plays random. I think the knowledge, or like, I don't know what you call it, the folklore, the knowledge is that on maps with a ramp you can play one gate expand and that's completely fine.
Yeah.
Mix opting not to play that, but I guess it's more stylistic. I'm not sure it puts you like ahead or behind 100% concretely either way.
I find
with the sentries coming out rallied across the map.
Normally when you see double gateway, you'd expect to see double adept or double stalker. Double sentry, I've no idea what this means.
I think it's a mass sentry.
You think?
I think this is a Zain special, and it's going to be mass sentry, but I have no clue, honestly.
You
this
think,
might just be.
You think Mix is doing a Zain to Zain?
You have to, right? Someone has to do it to him.
I mean, to be fair, he's building a stalker behind it, so it might not be. He might just be going for a mass gateway attack, but Zain actually sees
one of the sentries.
Yeah, he sees one of the sentries just moving out.
I'm not convinced this is a thing.
No.
So I'm not sure how
well
this
just
is
haven't
going
got
to
the DPS to break through here.
To do anything, yeah.
No. I mean, maybe you can try to chop up some of the units behind the wall so your units can then DPS down the battery.
Yeah,
maybe that's the logic. Look, Zain obviously knows something is up, something's not right.
Fishy, yeah, so he's shoring up his position here, building the shield batteries. He's getting a robo, I think, in his main as well, so he'll be really safe against most things. But maybe he's overreacting here.
Yeah.
Because Mix is expanding behind this.
Oh, he actually picks up a sentry. That's so expensive. 100 Vespene gas down the drain. And of course, Stalkers are faster than sentries, so they can chase this down. This Stalker's trying to turn around to distract them, sort of succeeding. And now with 2 more Stalkers, it looks like these...
With these Stalkers here, it's definitely going to be able to turn the fight for Mix's favour. But whether he can really capitalise on this, I don't know. Almost losing the Stalker there to the Zealot is pretty rough.
This looks like a fake out, though, because look, if you're Zain, what do you see? You see a lot of gateway units, including sentries, so you're now building another gateway and an Immortal, and another gateway behind that one. So really Zain is hunkering down now defensively, and yet Mix has this second base. He's getting Blink for the tech, so clearly this is just Mix faking Zain out completely.
Yeah, I have no idea what Zain thinks this is. It's clearly a thing that
no
we're
one
not
knows
aware
what this
of.
is.
Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like this is kind of going in Mix's favour here. I'd say the only risk now for him is, maybe dying to this like Stalker Immortal with the Warp Prism push as this comes out across the map. But
any good defensive tool can also be used defensively. And in this case, Zain has built built additional gateways. He's built a robot and an Immortal. And now he's realised, okay, maybe there's not a gateway attack coming, so I'm just going to send my forces across the map and try to kill you, see what he can do. Mix does not have a shield battery here.
Yeah, that does start now, but that does feel a little bit late.
He's got nothing really that can contest with this Immortal, especially with the Warp Prism coming out in a bit. Warp Prism Micro is going to be key here. Does Mix have enough? I'm not sure. We'll see.
I mean,
Immortal
with pulling
step up.
probes, he may be in a decent spot.
Just look at this. He's popped the shield battery that was building.
If this pylon goes down, the other battery is useless.
Oh, he does get on top jumping on top of the Immortal.
He force field everywhere.
Oh, he doesn't even lift it up with the Warp Prism. Probes are pulled. DPS isn't enough. He's surrounding all the Stalkers now. So there's some Stalkers dropped.
Okay, the Prism goes down,
Mix
but
kills the Warp Prism, and he's going to take out all of these Stalkers of Zain, especially with the DPS and buffering of the probes. Mix is going to hold decidedly, it looks like.
I mean, just barely decisively. He's only got 2 Stalkers against 1. It's going to be pretty rough.
Great micro here from Zain, but the issue is the wind out of this attack is completely denied.
Yeah, with the Warp Prism going down,
Warp Prism gone, Immortal gone, and yet Mix could just warp in more Stalkers and have this second base.
Yeah, with the Blink finish, it's going to make these fights really easy.
There's just nothing behind this though for Zain. This was all in for Zain. He needed to do way more than that.
The supplies are amazingly even, but Mix is up in workers and also up in tech, and also up in bases. So
look at Zain's observer. It's just looking there thinking, oh, bollocks. I am so far behind.
Yeah, I think this is, sometimes Terrans will like scan and be like, oh,
Yes,
I wonder how dead I am.
yeah.
I think this is one of those.
In fairness, Mix isn't really respecting this. He's building his own observer behind this, presumably to get rid of this one if you can see it. But Zain, it looked like Zain was going to go for an attack there. He was warping in more Stalkers. He's just gone for his own second base now.
I think this is cope, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
The base is so late, and the whole time, you're having to re-probe it. Yeah, you're just down in basically every way just because your income is so weak.
For several minutes now, Mix will have a massive economic lead, whereas Zain, he can try to pressure with the Warp Prism perhaps, but, with this economic advantage, Mix is just going to be able to push across the map with more Stalkers, more units, and try to take out Zain. But he's still got these 2 shield batteries from the start of the game. And, of course, with this ramp, it's a very easily defensible position. So it's going to be a tough nut to crack here for Mix.
Yeah, he doesn't have a prism of his own, so warping in any reinforcements is rough. This is just not enough Stalkers to one-shot Zain's
very
Stalkers.
close,
This
though.
is a very aggro blink. This is a bit of a move, I'm not sure.
This Stalker's going to go down very quickly, almost for free. I mean, Blink was finished, okay, so Mix did have that advantage.
I think Zain's Prism is heading for the main right now.
Yep.
With these sentries, some coming in. Thankfully, this game, he did build a shield battery, so holding this is going to be a little bit easier.
He's actually recalled all of his Stalkers. I think that's a very safe move there, because Mix has seen he just cannot break the front, so the only way he loses is by taking critical economic damage, and he does not want that at all.
Yeah, I agree. Just, don't let Zain back into this game. Play it super safe. We know we're ahead economically, so, why risk any part of that?
Absolutely.
He was getting charged, and I think he just cancelled it.
Yep,
so
I think he's happy just to cancel the charge, build a few more gates, a few more units, and then
go for it. Yeah,
try to beat Zain.
I think this is probably the move, but I don't know 100% if it's going to work yet.
I mean, in fairness, looking at the numbers, Zain still has that Immortal, and that's going to dish out so
with the
much
shield batteries
damage.
Here, plus shield battery overcharge, this is a tricky one for Mix for sure.
Nice force fields as well, slicing that army in half, but Mix does blink back, saving those Stalkers.
He's
going to try and loop around into the main base.
Yeah. This can be really tricky because you basically have 2 blinks with the Warp Prism as well as the actual blink.
I mean, Mix has this observer as well, and I'm pretty sure it can see Zain's army up the top there. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, just barely saw him move out of position, so maybe now...
Oh, he's going to force field the ramp! The absolute blaze! Mix force fields the ramp, so now he's got a massive concave over any of Zain's forces that are going to try to push up, and it's away from the shield batteries. Mix in here, it's going to do so much damage.
Go for the Robo up here to stop any more Immortals coming out.
He's
As it happens, Zain is going to get
Council.
another Immortal out, and these are a lot of Immortals
He's
now.
going to try and one-shot these Immortals. He gets them both. This is so much Protoss here for Mix.
I think Mix has done it, and that battery is just completely uncontested.
This Immortal. Shield battery is not enough, and it looks like there's just too much here for Mix. Probes are finally pulled, but there's just too much. The Warp Prism goes down, but once again, how does Zain deal with these Stalkers?
Yeah, I think even without the reinforcements, there's simply just too much here.
Yep.
And I think there's going to be a lot of probes going down and probably Zain out of this game.
GG. One apiece.
There we go.
One apiece.
We're going into game 3.
Absolutely. I mean, that was crazy. Zain, I guess, just over-defended and then had an underwhelming attack with his defensive tools.
See 2 sentries move across the map, and you're like, this is it. It's the end of days. I need a million shield batteries.
Yeah.
I think he knows he overreacted. I think, that could have been a Nexus, and I'm pretty sure he would have been completely fine.
Yeah. It's such a bizarre thing, though. Why would you build 2 sentries off a double gateway opening unless you're going to attack?
It must be some kind of cheese that we're just not aware of.
It looked like it was purely a mind game. But one that worked really well.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think maybe if you have like another gate that's proxied and you rally the sentries from there, and then you've just like your proxy, proxy 1 gating, but it works out as 3, right?
So you have 3 gates, and you just made 2 sentries, now you're going to attack with mass gateway units.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it, but
I
have no clue.
Yeah.
We're missing the knowledge of the matchup.
I think this is just like Mix through and through, though. He does really well in these sort of mind games. And then playing random just really suits that style perfectly.
Yeah, I think you're right. From the very start of the game, Zain doesn't know, what opener he can really get away with completely safely. We have seen him scouting really aggressively to like stay on top of it in these games so far, but you never know in this game. It opens up, it's 12 pool, and he just dies to that because he's so complacent.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to be loading in Royal Blood, game 3.
I reckon it's going to be Zerg this game.
I think Terran.
You think Terran?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, interesting. We'll see how it goes. I hope it's Terran. It's Zerg! I called it! I called it! Okay, spawning in the bottom left, we have the green Protoss player. It is Zain.
Tying up the series in the previous match, playing in the pink, this time randoming Zerg, is Mix.
Yes, and of course, Mix used to be a Zerg main. I say used to be because he's playing random very, very well nowadays. What is he, 5'5" now? 5'6"?
I think easily, everyone you ask here says, oh, I haven't been playing much very,
Oh,
very
everyone sandbags. That's all it is. It's
I think
sandbagging.
it's setting up the excuses in advance, because you think, okay,
Yes.
well, if I fail out of the groups, then
if you lose, it's because you weren't practicing. But if you win, then you're just a god.
Yeah, exactly. It's all talent if you win.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
In this game, okay, Zane's going to scout pretty early. It is a completely standard opener from Mix,
which is quite nice there.
Yeah, this is
Only
annoying
just.
for the Zerg, because you now have to take a 17 hatch. It's like slightly less efficient.
Yeah.
And what you're actually doing is putting your natural hatchery in the third spot, which means that where your natural would be, where the creep would link up and make it really easy to defend, you're now not, which means you're basically open to more adept play later on.
Yeah.
Which can just be a bit
Do you
annoying.
expect to see that out of Zain? Is that adept play? Excuse me.
I think it's pretty standard. It's sort of like the normal opener for ZVP is to make at least one, sometimes two. If it's two and you're like in this weird spot where your creep is really loose and your drones can start getting picked a little bit.
Given that Mix's second base is so far away from his main, we saw Roscoe earlier beat Seb with a Glaives all in.
Yep.
Could we see something similar?
Yeah,
out
I
of,
definitely think
Zain?
that's something that can work for sure. It's going to be really interesting to see, but this is a really standard opener, so neither player is going to be too worried about a slow Ling flood or the possibilities are endless at this stage in the game, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can just see here, Cyber before Nexus. This looks like a fairly safe and standard play. Interestingly, Nexus is...
This is not a safe and standard play.
No. I was fully expecting that to be the natural. Mix must be really confused now. The mind games between these two players is actually insane. Mix must be panicking now. He's building more Lings. I wouldn't.
Yeah, you don't really need. You only need two. Some people make 4 to be safe, but 6 is actually a bit out there. It's these minor things, where he's kind of overreacting to a threat that isn't real.
Yeah.
He's now making 8 Lings. So maybe he just wants to get aggressive, but maybe he's really worried about, what the possibilities of this opener could be. And actually, we do see him worried because he's sending these Lings to all corners of the map, actually.
Yeah, he's splitting them up. He's trying to find a proxy gate, it looks like, because obviously, if there's no Nexus there, you've got to ask yourself, where have the minerals gone? Have they gone into 2 more gateways that aren't in the base?
I know what Zane's done. He did this earlier. He's blocked his own natural. That pylon's misplaced. That's in the way of the Nexus. It's his own fault. He blocked his own natural.
No way. Is that what this is?
Yeah, I'm nearly certain. I'm nearly certain he's blocked that.
I mean, I was giving Zain the benefit of the doubt there, and so it was an excellent mind game.
It looks like a big brain play, but I'm not convinced it is. I think this may be a mistake.
Okay.
So now he's got to weather the storm of these slow Lings, which I thought were not coming, but now are.
They are just...
Gets the wall up just in time, but there's already a pylon in this wall, which means this is a tricky spot for Zain.
This adept here at the top just isn't getting involved, though.
Yeah, she's not helping.
No. I guess it's because it can get surrounded quite easily.
Yeah, it may be.
The wall off doesn't finish. The circlings are in. And okay, it looks like Mix has to do something here, surely. This is a gifted opportunity. The Adept shades to the high ground. It looks like the Adept will clean this up, especially with the
probe pool coming out. But he maybe could have got that. Oh, he's going to block the re-wall. This is brilliant because he has more Lings coming across the map.
Still coming in. The probes are blocking themselves from getting the pylon down, but it looks like with this funnel, I don't see how these Lings...
Mix needs to start hitting other buildings and try and bust through that.
He's getting
so many probes going down.
One by one, he punched through all of those probes. He's going to pick off that Adept. There's one on the left over here. The shield batteries aren't in. The wall is still down. GG is called. Mix takes it.
Crazy game. We need to go and talk to Zain because I promise you he blocked his own Nexus.
That's extremely uncharacteristic mistake it looked like there from Zain.
Yeah, absolutely. And we thought, what a sick play. He's going to be in such a good spot. And I think Zain made a bunch of safety Lings and then couldn't find anything to be worried about.
Yeah. Well, I guess I just send these across the map, then see what you do have.
Absolutely
and then it just ended up accidentally killing Zain, it looked like.
I think so. The nuance of the issue is that when you have your Nexus where it should be in your natural, every shield battery you make has full energy. If you make it away from a Nexus, it has half energy, which means you're holding that push is slightly worse. I think Zain, we sometimes do see this out of him, where under pressure, he can make these slip-ups, make these mistakes, especially times like this where he missed the re-wall.
Yes.
I think it's possibly, I'd say it's nearly definitely, his first misplaced pylon didn't give energy to that spot where Mix was attacking, which means he couldn't build a gateway or something in that spot to plug the wall. So he needed 2 pylons and then could only get 1 up, and the rest is history. Yeah.
That is
what a game. A quick best of 3 there, for sure.
Absolutely. I don't think Zain will ever make that mistake again this tournament with that pylon placement.
This tournament, it's twice now. No comment. I wouldn't be surprised.
All right. We're going to cut to a 5-minute break, I think, but after that we'll have Raza versus Iger in a nice TVP. Terran, finally.
Finally. A little bit of Terran, and I think we need to have a chat about what's happened in Group A as well.
Yes, we'll do that after the break.
Yeah.
Right, don't go anywhere. Take care.
Thanks, guys.